Hey guys, welcome back to Vanguard Motor Sales. I'm Greg, and that's GT500. Yeah, it's a 2022, right at 160 miles on it. Still got a lot of the dealer prep still on it. Now, the splitter does come in the passenger seat, but a lot of times the dealers put those on right away because it's a lot of work to put one of those on. There's like 500 bolts to hold it on. We've put on quite a few of them here at the shop. As you can see, it is the Heritage Edition, which is probably the most rare car on the planet right now, is these GT500s. Man, they are not making any more of them. Now, this one's got the vinyl stripes on it, looking sweet. And something really cool about the Heritage Edition, they actually put GT500 down there in the stripe on the rocker panel. You can see that this is the carbon fiber package, so it's got the carbon fiber wheels, it's got the carbon fiber dash, the wing. Just an amazing ride right here. And she's beautiful. I just absolutely love this car. You can see how the plastic's still on here from the dealer prep, even though it's got 160 miles on it. They didn't take any of that off. Even on the rocker panel here, none of that's been taken off. You can see the Recaro seats in there. Now, the carbon fiber editions did not have a back seat in them, so there's plenty of storage back there. I guess you could put your dog back there. These things are absolutely beautiful. I've had the privilege of getting to drive them quite a bit. Matter of fact, between a couple, 3 cars, I've actually got about 40,000 miles of seat time in one of these, and it is a hoot to drive. Hop up on the expressway on this thing, and she will giddy up and go. Let me go ahead and pop the trunk open here. There's plenty of room in the trunk. My wife and I took it grocery shopping. I took it to Home Depot. I mean, you can see it's got the car cover in there. It's got all the goodie bags. This is all your information. There's actually a memory stick in there. It tells you a lot about the car, or you can hop on YouTube. There's about 300 YouTube videos of all these guys who know all the bells and whistles and how everything operates. Even though I've driven one of these quite a bit, I still don't have a clue how many options and all the electronics and all that. I do know how to take traction control off, advanced track off. I know how to launch it, but those are all the important things. I know how to press on the accelerator and wake up that 760 horses also. Now at Vanguard Motor Sales, we don't do any consignment whatsoever. That means we own this Mustang. So call Tom anytime and he'll tell you all about it. Alright guys, we're in my favorite car right now, GT500, and I probably told you 2 or 3 times through the video, I've actually had one of these as a daily driver for the last couple of years, and I've put about 40,000 miles on between the 2 of them, so they are a blast to drive. You can see this one is just barely got the dealer prep off of it. It's still got all the plastic on the gauges, still got the protection on the screen. I'll fire it up here real quick so you can see the screen. So, you know, of course you got nav on there and everything and your audio. And then the dash will actually change all kind of different configuration. Like when I change the driving mode, you can see that all this stuff changes around. Tells you what, you know, what trip you're in, track mode. See, there's track mode for the, there's all kind of stuff to do with this. Even though I've got 1 million miles on one of these things, I still don't know everything that it does. So if you want to see what all the functions do, go on the website or go on YouTube. There's a lot of guys that explain everything. I do know, like traction control, you flip it up once, it takes off traction control. If you want to take off advanced track, you hold it up for like 5 or 6 seconds. And advanced track is the one that like takes the accelerator away from you when you go around the corner and slide sideways. So if you want to do donuts, you got to take that off. I'm not saying I've ever done donuts in one of these. I tell you, these things are a blast. This one's only showing 160 miles. you've got all the controls on the steering wheel. You can adjust the shocks. You can, of course, you've got all your settings for your race mode. I mean, it's got the trans brake on it. It's got line lock on it. It's got launch control. It's got, I mean, just all kinds of shit going on with this thing. Just amazing. Now we can park this stream in your driveway no matter where you live, so call us anytime. We're not out driving it today because it's nasty outside, but it does only have 106 miles, so you collectors don't have to worry about it. Normally they don't come with the splitter on them, but the dealer put the splitter on this one. It is quite a bit of work to put the splitter on, so call Tom anytime and we'll park this stream in your driveway. All right, we're underneath this beauty now, and as you can see, not a mark on it underneath. Actually, I guess pull up on that exhaust real quick. That little flapper in there, you can adjust this thing. It's got like 4 or 5 settings. I can't remember how many different settings, but you got a really quiet mode, then you got a track mode. I actually had one of these out on the track, got kicked off the track because it was so loud. It is just a screamer, man. She is beautiful under here. You can see that I've never been on the road. Super clean. You see these lines right here? These actually go to a diff cooler. So it pulls the fluid out, goes back there to a cooler, a fan blows on it, cools it down, comes back into the diff. So it's all set up for racing. This is basically a race car that you can drive on the street. You can see the extra super duty everything under here. The whole rear suspension, I mean, it's got braces going in every direction. We got heat shields here. Now we've had a few comments about the heat shields. You see how the corners are pushed in and that's actually the way they come from the factory like that. We've actually also had some people asking about the little scratches here in the frame. Now every one of them has these exact same marks. So what I'm thinking is whatever the assembly line device is, it goes right in here and is lifting the car. But yeah, we've had several of these cars and they have rub marks on them right there on every one of them. You can see this nose is all nice and clean, looking sweet. And then take a look at the size of that brake caliper. That is the biggest production made brake caliper out there. I believe it's 16.5 inches. She is a monster. Then of course you can see all the suspension there looking sweet. Now I've got the pleasure of driving quite a few of these and I had a couple of my own that I put a lot of miles on. You gotta keep off the curbs with this thing. This will not, like if you have an older Mustang like an 18 or whatever, you can actually pull over the curb. You cannot pull over the curb with this or you're gonna mess this all up. But it is pretty tough. I actually had one of these where I hit a great big old piece of rubber in the road off a semi-truck and this thing went right over it. It didn't even hurt the splitter. Now we've got the carbon fiber wheels because it's the carbon fiber edition. These are 305 30 20s up front and I believe, yeah, these are the Pilot Sport Cup 2s. As you look, and one of the other cool things, zoom in on that, when you've got the stripes down here, it says GT500 in it. Only the Heritage Editions had that GT500 down there. You can see the rockers all nice and clean, looking sweet. And then out back, we actually have 315s, same tire, Pilot Sport Cup 2s. And these things work great. Actually, when I had my car out on the track, it was actually raining a little bit, and they did real well. Now, as a daily driver, I actually put some all-season Continentals on it because when you get in some heavy downpour, those all-seasons did a little bit better for you, you know, running down the expressway 80 miles an hour. She is a beauty. We're gonna lower it down and take a look at that 760 horse up front. All right, here you go. We got 5.2 supercharged, 760 horsepower under the hood, man. She is a monster, and you know they're really proud of these things because they have every one of the guys who builds the motor sign it right there, so you know exactly who built your motor. I've had a blast with mine. I mean, they are just so fun to drive. You know, when you're on the expressway, you want to pass somebody, you just lay in the accelerator, and you better be careful because this thing will jump up 40 miles an hour right now. Tell you, she is a monster. Of course, you know, anti-lock brakes, power steering, air conditioning, everything. Just an amazing car. They did such a good job with this thing. This is actually magnesium, this brace between the shock towers. There's a lot of carbon fiber on the car. Actually, it's a carbon fiber car, and you can see it says carbon fiber composite right here, the radiator support here. I mean, everything looking sweet. Oh, this tray right here. So when you're running it in hot weather, like if you live in Arizona or something, or you take it out on the track, you just take out these Torx right here, and this tray comes out. That's just a rain tray to keep the water off the top of the motor. And you can run it, and so those hood louvers actually are functional and keep it nice and cool. Guys, give us a call, 248-974-9513, and let Vanguard Motor Sales park this dream in your drive.